You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar. Brought to you by Con Communications.
This is Saturday, January the 5th, and you have entered overtime, and I will apologize in advance because our pace tonight will be rapid fire and breakneck, even by our usual hyperkinetic standards. Simply put, a docket this stacked with games demands it, because along with all the usual winter weekend doings with college basketball and high school wrestling, this weekend serves as the great confluence of tournament tumult in both Western Illinois and Northeast Missouri. 4 new events started today, just as we crown champions in 4 other events. So let's play the lightning round, starting with the renewal of one of the region's great rivalries, Pittsfield at Quincy Notre Dame. The Sockies trying to make it 3 straight over the Raiders. Brad Tomahave having to do it without his designated Raider killer, Seth Petty, who had game-winning shots the last 2 years to beat QND. The Sockies looking to Wade Smith to pick them up, but they were in a big hole, and Quincy Notre Dame was about to make it bigger. Nick Dietrich finds his path to the hoop right there, and the Raiders were in full-on attack mode from that point forward. Alex Fitch starts a fast break, bucket, Band-Aid, 3-point play for the big fella as well. And speaking of big fellas, Matt McPherson, all 6'9" of him, making his presence felt. Soft guard-like touch, though, from the outside right there on the jump shot. Quincy Notre Dame up double digits at this point. Pittsfield still fighting in this one. Wade Smith with the 2, and then it's Eli Petty with a 3. Oh, but Quincy Notre Dame had too many weapons tonight. I tell you what, Sam Douglas has put his game together. This kid is an aggressive attacker with some great bounce in his legs, and he's going to show it to you right here. Transition bucket for Sam and all Quincy Notre Dame tonight as the Raiders break the losing streak to the Sockies and win by 20. 53-33 would be your final in that ball game. The news is not good for the Raiders' next opponent, however. Jacksonville loses for the first time this season in conference play to a very good Springfield Southeast team. That on the road, albeit, for J.R. Dugan's team, as Jacksonville loses by 10. Jacksonville outscored 33-20 in the fourth quarter. The defense, or lack thereof, in that final frame, the difference. Again, QND versus Jacksonville at the Pit next Saturday, and that should be a dandy showdown. Up in Southeast Iowa today, road games for Holy Trinity, which was victorious. Great to see Mitch Moeller back from the broken arm. He has been a monster since returning as the Crusaders win by 10. The news not quite as good for Central Lee, which gets whacked today by Mount Pleasant. 75-15 is your final. Let's do the finals today of the Highland Tournament. Canton and, wow, Highland, 2 teams that hadn't played in about 6 years, going at it in this one. Brandon Bearhorse gets Canton on the board first, and these kind of weapons, multiple weapons, is why Canton is the number 3 ranked team in the state right now. Derek Smith, though, attacking the other way for Highland. Great scoop for him. Good hands, great defense, and look at the finger roll at the pretty one at the other end. And then later it's Brandon Davey. Oh, Davey, he's fouled as he makes the 3-point play. No, it's a 4-point play. Highland up 6-5, and that was about the extent of the fun for the hooligans tonight because Canton was just ridiculous in this game. Tyler Neiman misses right here, but Gabe McKenzie, who had 20 points tonight, uses those long arms, hauls it in, puts the putback back up and good later. Brandon Bearhorse missing a 3 right here. The rebound, though, ends up back in his hands. Boy, Canton's athletic. Great pull-up, too. Canton building a lead, and it's one that's going to get huge by the third quarter. How about Wes Cramsey, though, trying to answer back for the Cougars? Nice shot for that young man. Just too much of Canton. They built a lead that was about 20. Didn't end up that big at the end, but Andy Anderson's team looks really good as Austin Hoeing punctuates the big victory. Tigers up 11 at this point. They win 81-74. They are your Highland Tournament champs, and they, the Canton Tigers, are still undefeated and looking really, really good. Meanwhile, at Clopton tonight, we wrapped up down there. Third place game sees Hannibal knock off the host school 68-63. Dalton Powell, one of 3 Pirates with more than 20 points tonight. Dylan Powell, his brother, also with 20 tonight. Dalton Powell makes the all-tournament team. Hannibal wins 68-63 to take third place. The consolation championship goes to Louisiana, which absolutely took care of business today at Monroe City's expense. Brendan Ross with 18 points to lead the way there. By the way, if you're wondering, Warrenton, under the direction of former Bowling Green coach Trevor Hibbs, was your champ in that event. Hancock County Tournament got started tonight. That's always fun. Illini West versus Keokuk. This was a game of wildly weird streaks. First quarter, Keokuk draws first blood. Johnny Dahl with a miss, but there's Kendall Clark, leading rebounder in all of Iowa 3A, showing you what he does. Offensive glass, put back good stuff from the big fella. And then how about some defense? This guy is really good. Dan Williams, great steal, hooks up with Johnny Dahl for the finish. Keokuk up early, but at the end of the first quarter, Illini West claws back in this game. Brighton Smith with a three. We're all tied up at 8 after 1. Second quarter was all about the Chargers as they would fashion a 10-point lead in this ball game. Brody Gronwald pivotal in that he had 18 points in the game. He's going to get away from everybody, and the smooth scoop shot at the other end. It's a 10-point lead for Illini West at the half. Third quarter, though, oh, look at this. Dan Williams and company come all the way back. They're going to end up taking a lead in the third quarter when Johnny Dahl going to hit this shot right here, makes it 31-30 in favor of Keokuk. Chiefs up 44-42 with 50 seconds left in the ball game. This is a bad miscue for the Chiefs. Dahl seems to lose the handle of things. The ball rolls all over the place, and eventually Brody Gronwald is there to tie the score. Talk about a reversal of fortunes at that point. We're all tied up, but Keokuk answers back. Johnny Dahl making up for that miscue. Great pass to Dan Williams. It's a three-point play, bucket plus Band-Aid. All of a sudden, the Chiefs are up in this one, 47-44. You know what, though? They foul Brody Gronwald above the arc. He hits 2 of his first 3, but couldn't get the third one. His team down 47-46. Kendall Clark with a pivotal rebound. 2 free throws to put his team up 49-46. And the last desperation heave by Gronwald and company, unrequited. Illini West felled by Keokuk in this one, 49-46. Great start to the Hancock County Tournament. The other game tonight, not quite as compelling. West Hancock and Unity going at it. Hey, Paxton Harmon's back, the most valuable ankles in Tri-State basketball. Well braced tonight. Unity, one of the hottest teams in the area coming in. Paxton Harmon, right off the bat, proves his ankles will be just fine. Thank you very much. Bank shot for the bucket right there. He ended up with 13 points on the night. He was not his team's leading scorer. Lane Davis, who has been so darn hot, with the answer at the other end. Good take for the big fella from Unity, but Unity couldn't get anything going in this first quarter, and all of a sudden it's pull-away time for the Titans. Austin Hardy had 16 points tonight, including that triple to lead his team in scoring. He was good. Paxton Harmon good from the outside as well. Will Klusmeyer's going to hit a buzzer beater right here to end the first quarter, but that was the extent of the Unity highlights as West Hancock sends a message tonight, winning by 30. 63-33 was your final. Let's take you to scores from the Winchester Invitational. We've got plenty on the late side tonight. Maybe the best matchup of the day, West Central versus a red-hot Griggsville Perry team tonight. Oh, Jeff Abel's team gets the job done at home, winning 53-48 was your final there. Payson Seymour also with a really tough draw. That tells you just how competitive this thing is. The Indians get a big win, though. Maybe one of their finest wins yet as they answer back that Unity loss. 58-44 is your final. Brian Ray's team with a really good defensive effort against a very salty opponent. Also on the docket today, Waverly too much for Western, winning 56-40. North Green knocks off Brown County 54-32. And early in the day, Carrollton a winner over Calhoun 56-46. We've got highlights as well. The showdown of the day turned out to be the 2-seed route taking on Camp Point Central. Remember, just this week, Central upset Southeastern, and Central goes to work in this game. How about Cole Phillips giving the Panthers an 11-3 lead early after the first quarter? Route trying to stay close in this game. However, it is the sniper, Ryan Lindsay, and he is a good one from atop the key. That is his comfort zone, and he knocks that down. Still, Central giving no relent. Douglas Weiss going underneath, up and under, if you will, to put Central up 17-9 at that point. Brett Long, the big fella, all 6'8" of him. Boy, he's got a smooth offensive game. The take right here cuts that Central lead down to 4. But at the other end, Marcus Landis, boy, this kid is athletic. Great finger roll, great drive. In Long's grill, no less. 21-16 at the half, the Panthers lead. Upset watch is officially on. Todd Plattner's team looking for more. How about Douglas Weiss? You know he can score. How about a little dish, drive, and D right here to Jason Dormeyer? The Panthers go up by as much as 11 in the second half. Route would keep it interesting, getting back to within 4, but that would be as close as it gets. Central pulls off the biggest upset of the day anywhere, beating the 2-seed and ousting them. 41-36 was your final. Would we have another upset? This would be even bigger if Liberty went down to Pleasant Hill. The Eagles, they weren't feeling that, not in the least. Andy Douglas's team, very, very good to start off the morning. Michael Blewett's 3 won't go, but Michael Mast is there. Johnny on the spot, drawing contact too. Probably should have got the foul to go along with it. Good take for him. Mast wasn't done yet. Dominating the highlights tonight from the outside, 3-ball center pocket for Mr. Mast. Then Ike Murphin, the big fella, calls for it inside. You got to feed him. He is dominant and physical and darn good right there. Great take for him. More to come right here. Kyle Mowen going to hit the jumper for Pleasant Hill, trying to keep his team alive and kicking. Connor Wolf and company, though, had way too much in this one for P. Hill as Liberty seals the deal and advances to the second round, leaves no doubt about it, winning 55-13 today. One more to show you from this tournament. Early morning action, Triopia taking on the 16 seed West Central's JV squad. Oh, Josh Millard for the easy 2 right there for the Trojans. Not a bad game for the Cougars JV. However, Luke Wetter, hey, we got some JV highlights on tonight, taking the ball to the hoop for 2. The Cougars, though, overmatched. Tanner Huddleston, about as good a scorer as you're going to find. Maybe the most underrated basketball player in the entire area. Great spinorama move for him. More from T-Hud right here. He's going coast to coast, make you feel like a comatose. Great take for him at that point. All about route in this game as they end up winning, or Triopia, I should say. Beg pardon, that was a fatal faux pas. 55-35 is your final there. Triopia with a big, big victory today over West Central. By the way, still have that route upset apparently on the mind. And when we come back, plenty more to come here on this loaded edition of Overtime, including red letter days for the Western Illinois and Culver Stockton basketball teams who are red hot and looking to augment their already impressive resumes, plus a full slate of the action from the ladies tournaments today, opening up in Camp Point and Wyatt Hall, and a championship night in Ewing, all when overtime continues.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar, brought to you by Con Communications.
Okay, so again, it's another Maylocks moment night for the good folks at Western Hall, but again, Western Illinois finds a way to win, beating IUPUI 57-53 in comeback fashion tonight. That is 9 straight wins for the Leathernecks, who are now 5-0 in conference play. That is darn ridiculous. Great, great evening tonight for Western Illinois. Speaking of red-hot basketball teams, the Culver Stockton men at home today against Baker early on with a nice take right here. Up and under and scooping to C.J. Adams, and then more. Allen Hadzimahovic right here from the outside, knocking down the long triple, and that may be the last time I ever attempt to say Hadzimahovic again on this newscast. Kid can shoot, though. He's got some nice games. So too does Austin Keaton with the 3. Culver Stockton riding the early lead by 6. Tell you what, Baker would answer. This was a hotly contested game, and then Culver Stockton would answer right back. C.J. Adams to Mario Gully, over to Jermaine Jones. Pretty passing, tic-tac-toe. Then James Johnson making his impact felt. These were first half highlights. It was a 1-point lead at the end of the half for Culver. They had to go to overtime, though. But the good news is the Wildcats continue their winning ways, winning 88-75, blowing the doors off Baker in the extra period. 88-75 was your final there. On the scoreboard today, wish we had better news for you, Quincy University fans, but your team, despite what the scoreboard says, loses to McKendree today, 69-57. Again, Quincy University defeated by McKendree, 69-57. So the Hawks go 0-2 on this road trip during the course of this week. Not a really good week, not a really good start to 2013 for Marty Bell's crew. The news also not good for HLG's men, who lose at home to Benedictine of Springfield today. Final count in that one was 72-65. We've got highlights for you, the Culver Stockton women, and they were fully exciting today. Good start, rough middle as they take the business end of a 23-2 run. That 2 right here, though, pretty from Katie Davis. She could not complete the 3-point play. However, Culver Stockton in comeback mode after leading big early and then trailing by as many as 8. Here come the Wildcats, and at the end of things, it's Mimi Reeves to Deja DeHayward with a pretty finish. And Deja had herself a day. Look at her going right here. She's going to clean up on the miss, and look at the assist back to Katie Davis, and all of a sudden the Wildcats are back within 3. And yes, Katie Davis all fired up in this one, as she should be. Culver Stockton down 1. How about Deja DeHayward again? Stretch and release. Beautiful stuff for her, as Culver Stockton now up 1. And then it's Randy Lee Plunkett trying to finish things off. The pride of Marion County. Boy, she's a finisher. Coffee is for closers, and she closed today not once but twice with huge moves to keep that separation for her team. Culver Stockton up now with 16 seconds left in this ball game, 60-57. Baker had one shot to shoot it with 6 seconds left. The three-pointer that would have tied it unrequited. Randy Lee's heroics helped seal the deal. Great day by Mimi Reeves and Deja DeHaywood as Baker gets beat by Culver Stockton today, 60-57. As I said, Deja DeHaywood, really nice day for Culver Stockton. Really good today. That team really kind of ratcheted things up. Unfortunately for the Leathernecks on the ladies' side of things, J.D. Gravina's team goes on the road to IUPUI and can't find any offense today, losing by the final count of 55-36 in this ball game. Elsewhere on the scoreboard, Quincy University, that's 2 straight wins to open 2013 for Jenny Garber's team. You remember how bad they were struggling back in December? Apparently, they've turned the page. Quincy University now 2-0 in conference play, and that's got to be a fresh breath of relief for that program. Also today, HLG, a winner at home over Benedictine, again of Springfield, 66-51. News is also good for Jerry Jerome's Southeastern Community College squad, which picks up its 11th victory of the season, beating Southwest Community College 76-45. Let's go back to the high school girls side of things. Palmyra and Macon playing for the Highland Championship tonight. The top 2 seeds squaring off. The seeds held, and so too did Palmyra's dominance. Lexi Lawson pulling down the offensive rebound and scoring right back quickly here. Then Allie Dietrich going to find herself free, knock down a 3 right here. Panthers up 26-18 at the half. Third quarter. Oh, how about Alexis Van Nostrand? AVN going to work, hitting the long 2, extending the Panther lead out to 28-21. Megan Hooper is back and healthy. Her presence felt very considerably in this one as she scores from the corner. And then we'll leave you with a little Katie Hinkle, as it was all about Palmyra in this ball game. The Lady Panthers getting the thing done, 55-36, leaving no doubt about it in this ball game. I believe Hooper and Hinkle were your all-tournament members, as Macon had no answer for these girls. We'll leave you with a little bonus coverage there. LVN with the steal and the bucket at the other end, as Palmyra gets the victory, as I mentioned, 55-36, and a nice trophy for their efforts on the day. Other scores today, the Q&D girls go down to Highland, Illinois, and blast the doors off the host team in the Optimist shootout. Quincy Notre Dame now 12-0 in the season. Up next for the Raiders, they will play in town next Saturday afternoon against Quincy High School. That should be fun. Also, Central League girls stay improved to 9-2 with a big win on the road over Elbia as well. Let us take you to the early start of the Lady Panther Classic today. Unity taking on Lewiston. Unity trying to brush off that lackluster tournament showing at Beardstown. They look much better today. 2-man game right here between Brianna Begeman and Maggie Bowles, who finishes there nicely. It's worked to perfection. A little bit later, it's Begeman's turn to score from the top of the key. She led her team in scoring with 13 points in this game. Uncovered and left free. That's not good. Brooklyn Moore also showing out today on the inside. That bank shot is money. Unity wins going away in this ball game, 39-27. That score a little closer than it may have indicated, as Brad Begeman pulled his starters in the fourth quarter. His team didn't score, and Lewiston scored 15 points in that frame to make it look a little closer. Best game of the day over there, at least in terms of pairings, Brown County and Liberty. This was kind of a highly entertaining matchup between these two teams. A couple of great young centers in this game, including Vanessa Markert, who's going to track down this kind of loose scrambling ball, and then she's going to show off a modified dream shake and knock that jumper down. That girl can play. She's just a sophomore. At the other end, Liberty finds some answers. Miranda Nyson wide open for the jumper, and that's clean and good. Then Cheyenne Granger going to go to the cup strong for Brown County in opposition. This game was back and forth throughout. Liberty Payson, though, found a number of answers in this ball game. None prettier today than this one from Kristen Luce, who just slips away from everybody and gives her team the victory. Final count in this one was 41-33. West Hancock girls and Central Southeastern. It was one of those ninja sensei matchups, as Matt Long against his former assistant right there, Adam Brumbaugh. Early on, Central showing some real moxie in this game. West Hancock heavily favored coming in, but look at Madison Steinkamp showing her team how to get the job done right there. Good start for Central Southeastern. However, it would all turn around right here. West Hancock getting some things going. Haley Hamill scrapes off the D, knocks down the open jump shot, and then it's Madison Harmon to Carly Runge for the finish. And in the second half, West Hancock pulls away for the victory. 43-32 was your final. Other scores today from Camp Point Central. Q&D's JV nearly beat Havana, led for 3 quarters, but Havana finishes the deed off 50-42. Later in the day, Havana beat Central Southeastern by 10. It was South Fulton the winner by 3 over West Hancock. Also, Unity bounces back and beats Brown County 49-28 in the late game today, and Liberty Payson felled by Monroe's 43-36. At the Lady Spartan Classic today, down in beautiful North Green. How about Alyssa Guard for Route? Her team taking on North Green's JV team, and Route is really good. Doesn't matter who they're playing. Guard hooking up with Natalie Helpin, wide open the corner. She drives and scores. Katie Tonry also having a good day today as Route just does what you'd expect them to do. They win their opening round matchup and look every bit a top seed in doing so. Route with a big win there. Also, another team favored to do very well in this event, West Centrals. They were taking on Brussels. Brian Bettis' team looking inside to their post player, and she's a good one. Abby Lashmet spinning away from everybody. Good bucket for her. Kissing one off the glass, and that's good. The three-point snipers, there are 4 of them that surround Miss Lashmet. They're all good, including Kelsey Bettis, who's wide open and knocks that down. West Central picks up the big victory today over Brussels as well. And finally, how about Pittsfield and Beardstown going at it in this game today? Shea O'Brien not playing. It's her 3rd straight game out because she had her appendix out. So back and forth we go in this game. Elena Rollins from mid-range knocks down the jumper there. Brittany Miller, though, finding some freedom for Pittsfield, Pleasant Hill, and getting the bucket to fall. Then Kate Herder's going to answer at the other end. This was a fun game as well today. Herder a couple of big shots in this game. However, Pittsfield finds a way to get this done and get the victory today without their top scorer. 42-32 was your final in that ball game. So big win for Pittsfield Pleasant Hill. And we'll have more overtime for you coming up after this. Well, it is Con Communications Connection time here on Overtime, and as you likely or hopefully know by now, we put up 4 sports couplings for your perusal every month, and at the end of that month, you get a chance to vote for the best of the lot. And as an incentive to vote, anyone who participates in the process becomes eligible to win a nice prize package from Con Communication. And since the month of December is now behind us, happy to announce that Unity's Thomas Donnelly was the top vote getter as we go to the highlights here with his heroic 3/4 court shot against Palmyra. From the middle of December, you see here after the other end of the Brock Butler conversion at one end. That's a beautiful shot, and our randomly drawn voter who wins that great prize package from Con is none other than Heather Vopel. So our congratulations to both on the big win. And it's a new month, and we've got a new nominee. And who else is going to get it but the kid who won himself a ball game? Let us go to those highlights from last night. Fantastic showing last night from this fella. Oh, goodness. Cabe Simpson, his team was down 31-9 at the half. His team had a chance to win it at the buzzer with a 3-pointer, and Cabe Simpson delivers the shot of his lifetime and the shot of the week so far, a 3-pointer for his team to beat Macon and take 3rd place last night, or actually the consolation championship, I should say, at the Highland Tournament. One more look at Cabe Simpson delivering big for the South Shelby Cardinals. Congratulations to Cabe Simpson, I should say, your winner for, or at least your first nominee for the month of January. Good stuff from Cabe. By the way, one other soccer note to pass along. Yesterday we told you that the big fella, Blake Herman from Quincy High, was committing today to UMSL. He will not be alone in St. Louis. Matt Longo, the Quincy Blue Devil coach, tells KHQA that also today, not long after Mr. Herman committed, Bronson Melvin, who you see here, outstanding midfielder from Quincy High School, is also pledging UMSL, which means there will be 4 different Quincy kids on the UMSL roster